Tropical Smoothie Cafe believes you deserve a getaway every day, not just once a year. Summer mocktail smoothies are here for a limited time at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Mocktail hour on the pool deck is just a sip away. Visit one of Tropical Smoothie Cafe's 1,400 locations or order online or through their app. Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It is Tuesday, and on Tuesday we talk about 90 Day the Other Way, and this episode is season 6, episode 5. And I don't think I have the title for it. Dang it, Kimberly. Is it?
Oh, shoot.
What is it? Because I have Love Stinks, but I believe Love Stinks is for Forbidden Love.
You are correct on that.
Yeah, shoot. Okay. 90 Day Fiance.
It's not listed on my thing.
The Other Way, season 6, episode 5. It's called something, and I'm sure it's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 things I hate about this show.
That was last week. Okay, you guys, maybe between now and when this is over, we will come up with the title. Okay.
Yeah.
Let us talk about the first couple. Let's talk about James and Natalia Tata. I've decided that she is close to a top 5 most immature person we've ever seen on this show.
1000%. But I did think she looked very beautiful in this episode. So I was torn. I was like, wow, she's so pretty. Maybe she really is thriving there.
Yes.
And her soul is dying in Maine.
I think that's right.
He gives me the willies, and I feel bad saying that. I don't know what it is about him.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything.
I know.
It's a lot of things.
I had paused my screener. I had paused it to when I was taking notes at the end, and it's at the end when they're walking around doing next week scenes, and he's looking around at this room, and he goes, "So this is my room? Like it looks like a jail cell," which, by the way, it didn't. It looked totally fine. All you have to do is throw some rugs on the ground, and so I had paused it while I was taking notes. I was like, I looked up. I mean, he's got a little bit of Tom Cruise energy. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Actually, I know exactly what you're saying. Like he might jump on a couch and freak you out, but he's trying to be personable, and it's not working.
It's like that.
He's in a cult.
It's like that too big of a smile.
Yeah,
too big. What is that too big of a smile hiding?
And I will never get past that giggle he made in the first episode when he said, "She says if I cheat on her, she will cut off my whatever," and then he goes like a Gino.
Yeah.
And they said, "Why are you laughing?" And he said, "Because it's so scary." Why do you sound like a 5-year-old girl? What's wrong with you?
He's really something.
And what was with that thigh strap holster thing?
I saw that when he was walking away, and I was like, is it a weapon? Is it a... He just ran out of hands and he had to strap things to his legs? Like, what was that?
I know, like, when you're traveling, you're supposed to wear, like, a money belt, like, under your shirt.
Well, right.
But this was on his thigh.
I didn't stop it or pause it to see what it was, but usually if something's strapped on your leg like that, it's like a gun or a knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he felt the need to show people he had a weapon when he was traveling across. And all I kept thinking was he traveled for 2.5 days and he thinks the dog is going to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
How? Unless
I will riot if they put that dog through that traveling.
No, the dog won't make it. He would have to accompany the dog and have it in a carrier with him. On a carrier with him. Yeah. Can you take
that
a boat?
Dog is small enough to maybe go in a carrier, but still.
Can you take a boat to Indonesia? Unclear.
I don't know. Like, I don't know, Mary Payne, but it's, I just kept thinking about how bad he smells after that travel day, like all greasy and stuff.
Travel days.
But she likes it. That's all that matters. They love each other.
Listen, all I want for her is just some adult braces on the top. And that's all I want. I think that her wonky tooth situation does give her that kind of like jewel cuteness, you know?
I 100% agree. I think her smile is endearing.
Yes, I think it gives her character. But I do think at some point for her health of her teeth, she is going to have to move that situation around.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So it's weird because we're seeing James's travels. And as we start this whole show, we get this like back road Appalachia country harmonica type music. I was like, we're in Indonesia. Why do we have like,
And he came from Maine.
yeah, I was like, none of that, the music didn't match. And
Okay.
normally, more so, I'm paying attention to the words of the free music they put in.
Yeah.
But this was something. So now we see Tata. Now she's working at the banana chip kitchen with her parents. So they're in their, they're like in their professional, sanitary gear or whatever. And she's going to tell her parents that James is coming for a visit. And she tells them, and
I
what?
can't believe she hasn't told them even that he was coming.
Nope.
Not that he's going to live there, but she didn't even say he's coming to visit.
I don't
arriving.
I don't understand these people at all. And she says, yeah, James is coming for a visit, and Dad does thumbs up. That's great. You should take him around to see the area. And
Very
Mom
cute.
says,
Dad is very sweet.
so far, we haven't seen this monster that they have made him out to be.
No, he seems so sweet.
And you should take him around the area. And Mom says, no, I want you just to stay with me. And then she starts bawling, crying.
So we know where Tata gets it from.
Yes. And she says, I just want you to stay here with me forever. And I want you to take care of me. And Tata starts crying and says, forgive me for staying away for so long. And then in the talking head, Mom and Dad together say, Tata was gone for 3 years without a visit. And that is rough. And they missed her so much. And then Mom says, I love all my children, but she's the youngest, so I love her the most. Which just gives me all the ammunition I need to tell my sisters that my parents love me the most.
Yep.
The youngest is loved the most. There, we've heard it. We've heard it.
I'm the oldest, so I'm not happy right now, but that's fine.
Look, I'll be honest. In my family, my middle sister is loved the most.
Yeah.
She and her husband,
most.
Yeah, she and her husband are completely loved the most, and we're fine with it because they do the most. So they should get the most love.
I do the most also, and
so you should get most. You should get the most love. Yeah,
okay. I think I am. Yeah.
Tata left for 3 years, and she's still the most loved. These other kids must be assholes.
Mm-hmm. They're like, there's a murderer over there.
The two that we've met seem fine. And Mom tells her, "You must have children. You must have children." Look at me as an example. I have had 6 children, yet no one is here with me. Imagine when people don't have children. I was like, you are putting so much pressure on this girl.
I have never seen such mother guilt since Jenny and Sumit's mom said, I will unalive myself if you marry this woman. Do you want my blood on your hands?
Right. By the way, Sumit's mother still with us.
Yeah.
And they post on social media together all the time.
Yeah. It worked out fine.
It worked out.
But this mother is in that. She's like, my heart is torn away. I have all these adult children and they left me. They don't take care of me. I am alone.
Well, by the way, the one sister does live there because she sells popsicles, and the other sister lives in the house. So I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, they don't do it good enough.
And they're just all sobbing in the banana chip factory. Those chips are going to get soggy.
I know, but Dad is like, okay, enough of this. Did you take those out of the oven? Because then we need to sprinkle the cheese on them. I was like, is cheese on banana chips good?
Ew, he said cheese?
Yeah. They were like these are the ones that, these are the ones that have cheese. And then she was sprinkling cheese on top of them.
Interesting. I would try it. I love cheese.
I will try it too. And I'll tell you that last night I went to dinner at my sister's house, and my other brother-in-law, the favorite one, was saying that he literally goes, the so-and-so by the so-and-so, the gas station by the so-and-so has this market in the back, and they have this powdered Mexican cheese. And you get that, and then when you grill corn, when it's still hot, you sprinkle this powdered Mexican cheese all over it. So good. And he's telling my other brother-in-law about it, and I was like, is powdered Mexican cheese a euphemism for like cocaine? Like, what are we talking about? Why is it powdered? I go, do you mean like shredded? He goes, no, it's powdered Mexican cheese. and you
Like
put it on the hot
Parmesan.
corn. Yeah, but
Parmesan gets powdered sometimes.
that's true. But he's like, you put it on the hot corn, and he said it's the best thing you've ever had in your life.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
I was like, oh God, I need some of that. So also I'll tell about this on Hey Bunky this weekend, but my brother-in-law, the older one, has beehives now in his yard and is harvesting the honey.
He
And
knows how to do that.
yeah. And oh my gosh, we had some of the honey last night on the ice cream, and it is unbelievable.
Wow.
I can't explain. I don't know why it's so good and so different than what you would go to the grocery store, I guess, because it came out of their yard.
And it's good for allergies.
My dad said it's
Local honey.
it's good for your wounds. You just rub it on your open cut.
What?
What?
If it's just anything, you have a cavity, you just put it right in that cavity. It heals that cavity.
It's like my big fat Greek wedding.
Eye in your eye, you just drip the honey right in your eyeball.
I said it's like breast milk; it cures everything, or vinegar if you're to believe the internet. But big fat Greek wedding where they spray Windex on everything. Everything is Windex. Everybody's family has that. I think my husband's family is Campho-Phenique. They're like, you put Campho-Phenique on that. I was like, can you even buy Campho-Phenique anymore?
I've never even heard of that word that you're saying.
Okay, Campho-Phenique. It's like this little ointment, and it's like dark. And I said to Dave, I said, I think you put Campho-Phenique on like a canker sore in your mouth. He's like, no, it works on everything. I was like, it's like me with like Aquaphor. I'm like, put Aquaphor on it. It's fine.
My mom loves Neosporin. Neosporin goes on everything.
Everything. I didn't understand the Windex on my big fat Greek wedding, but it's funny. Oh my God. Back to this. Okay. How we got
crying in the banana chips.
Crying in the banana chips. Okay. So back to crying in the banana chips. Dad says, James promised me that you would have children. So he'll do that. He'll do that because he told me he would. So then she says, in Indonesia, the tradition is the youngest takes care of the parents. And I feel like I'm going to let them down if I don't have children. So is she having children so they can take care of the parents? Like, what's happening?
That's it. In other cultures, you have kids so that they will take care of the older people. And it's like a cycle of care. Me, I'm like, no, thank you.
So you're always taking
going
care
in a home.
No.
I'm not having children just to like make my parents happy when they see them 15 minutes a week or whatever, like
right.
I'm not having kids so they'll take care of me when I'm old. I'm going to harvest my American dollar and not have children to spend it on. And then maybe I can afford to pay someone to take care of me when I'm older.
Yeah. And your parents, in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So now we see James with some different music, and he's on the second leg of his trip. It seems to me he's like on the 15th leg of his trip, but he's shaving in the train station bathroom.
Oh, God.
Okay. So
I kept thinking, I didn't like it.
Because it was too close to his face?
It was so close to his face, and that razor just looked horrible, and he's just like... I've apologized to the person who said they really did not like when we talked about gross things. You might want to fast forward. He's just scraping at his face with that razor, and it made me uncomfortable.
Like, get some shaving cream.
Yeah.
So today is the day he arrives. They've been apart a month. She's talking to her sister, whose name is Dichi, and she has told Dichi that he is going to stay there. She's told Dichi, and Dichi's very excited. So she's told two sisters now. The only people who don't know are her parents. The people who own the house that he'll be living in. And she has promised a job.
This is insane. This is insane behavior.
It is.
When she says the sisters are so excited, is she referring to the one last week who said, don't move here?
Don't move here. Don't move. No, she said Dichi is excited.
No, she said everyone is excited.
Oh, she did? Okay, well.
I think she said they're all excited.
Well, the two people that know are not excited.
No.
Dichi was excited, but that's it.
Fine. Yeah.
And I also wonder, because Dichi covers her hair, if Dichi is married, and maybe she doesn't live there. She lives off with her husband, maybe.
Interesting.
But the other sister, it seemed like, also was married, but didn't cover her hair. Whatever, your choice. So, anyway, she worries. Everything is so different here. And I know how it is to go somewhere with totally different culture, totally different food. And so everything is different than Maine. And I do worry he'll be homesick. So he arrives and they run and hug and jump on each other. She said she was going to monkey him, and she did.
She did.
Her sister and her personal fan. Her sister's got a personal fan out.
I loved it. I saw it. I was looking for the pink shade logo.
Did you see personal fan? I got one right here.
I love it. I
This one.
personally wear the neck ones that just go around your neck.
Yeah, yeah. I've got this on my legs because I'm hot in this room. So the sister and her personal fan watches and cries because it's such a sweet moment. And I got to tell you, the two of these, this is when I really decided they're the two most immature people on our television. Maybe as bad as Mary and Brandan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because they are giggling and they're like, we're so happy to see each other. And then she goes, I can't wait. I can't wait for you to see the parents. He goes, I can't wait to see your parents either. Then I could tell them I'm moving in.
Oh my God.
I was like, you should have told them that he's moving in.
It's stupid. I hate saying that, but these people might just be stupid.
Okay, let's move on to a
But
better.
that awkward moment between James and the sister, they did like a half high five, half hug, half do spin your partner around, because he like tried to almost twirl her. It became like a high five and then like oh my God.
I did not see that.
It was amazing.
Bless him. He's awkward.
Yeah.
This man has been married twice. Okay. Let's move on to Corona and Inky.
So she's arrived in Iceland. I thought her suitcases were very cute. If anyone
I did too. Yes.
has a lead on those suitcases, let us know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So she reminds us that she's been soft partnering him and that she's going to trickle out the weirdness, like the quirkiness and the anger issues that she has been hiding.
Soft partnering is a phrase that she has coined.
I love it. Like gentle parenting.
Mm-hmm.
So he shows up with flowers, which he has learned how to do by watching movies because he's never been in a relationship.
Uh-huh.
They do a little hug and a peck. It was nothing like James and Tata. There was
no monkey.
Almost no physical skin touching. And she's disappointed that they aren't just like going at it in public like Ashley and Manuel. Like that's what she was expecting. But she likes the flowers. It's -10 out, I'm assuming in Celsius, which is 14 degrees Fahrenheit, which is cold. But it gets that cold in America in certain places. Like,
so it was 14, but he said -10. So I did
a little goog and figured it out.
To go.
He has heated seats in his truck, and she says the days are getting longer there. The sun is coming out, and he's going to teach her how to drive. And it's kind of cute, but very like almost like you're picking up your exchange student from the airport that you've only Zoomed with a couple times. That's the energy I'm getting, like from him. I
agree. Yeah, I agree.
That's his level of excitement. So, but she's excited to go home and be with her person. She's chit-chatting a lot. She's a chit-chatter. She's just like, I'm so excited. It's going to be our home and I have my person here. And he's like, mm-hmm. Yeah. And he even yawns.
I did not like how he tried to like tease her with moving the car on the snow. I don't like that. I don't like when people do that. I don't like it at all.
He's a little immature. And then we see their joint hero shot where she puts on this Viking helmet and he shakes his head. I thought that was kind of cute.
The active hero shots are killing me.
Yeah,
they're killing me. They're so funny.
Is there a special producer who is writing these, like coming up with these ideas? We're going to put Statler on a giant bull statue. How is she getting up there? We're going to get a ladder. And if she falls, well, that's what we have insurance for.
Right.
So they go back to his place and he pulls a Sarper. He was supposed to clean out his closet to save space for her.
He's got a nice place though.
It's great. Yeah. Except he didn't do a single thing that he was supposed to do. Right. And she's pissed, but she's soft partnering him. Partnering. So, but you can tell, you could see it in her eyes. She's like, my biggest pet peeve is someone who doesn't keep their promises. And if I wasn't soft partnering him, I would say, bitch, why didn't you clean out your effing closet? So we get to see. We're not being soft partnered.
No.
We're being hard relationshiped. But
wow. Yeah.
this is going to be brutal when it finally comes out. And he's a little overwhelmed that someone is in his space and she's pulling out her weird vampire princess boots. All of her boots are like these giant platform, like
it's so many
Rocky
of
Horror
this.
Picture
It's
Show
so many of
meets
the same, right? Like so many of them are the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and also how much you fit all of those boots in those 2 suitcases?
I feel like one bag was full of boots.
Yeah, and the rest was just like clothes and
Clothes.
toiletries.
Yeah.
So also good for her. 2 suitcases, that's impressive. That's a level of minimalism that I aspire to.
Every time we see these shows when they move, they always say they're only allowed 2 suitcases. And
That's
I'm like,
crazy because Ari and Binyam, she had her like 7 or 9 or something, or 13, because the episode was called My Life in Blank Number of Suitcases.
and think about freaking Paul and Karini. He took like military luggage. You can take whatever you want. I think these people are like,
to bring condoms so that the parasites don't swim up your pee-pee hole.
don't we wish they would have? But I think you obviously can take as many bags as you want. You just have to be willing to pay for it. And it's a matter of, will I pay $50 or $100 for an extra bag? I think if it's your entire life you're moving, I think it might be worth it.
100% it's worth it. I just moved and I like knew it was going to cost to have movers, and like you just have to commit to it if it's your stuff that you anyway. I don't, it seems like she's soft partnering this move too. Like she left a lot of stuff at home. Like she's not
but brought all her
committed.
boots. Yeah.
She bought, well, the boots are what's most important for her. And then that's it. And she's like doing a Statler, like leaving stuff at home as a backup plan. There's no way
but not the boots.
Corona only has 2 suitcases worth of stuff.
Okay. She is very tiny, so maybe her clothes are really little.
That's true.
Yeah.
My clothes are bigger. I'm size beautiful, so my clothes take up more room.
You always say that, but I've seen you in person and you are pocket sized. So
I'm short.
you are Polly Pocket. Yeah.
So he's just overwhelmed. Like there's someone in my space, which I get. This is how I would be if someone was in my space, but someone I didn't know, like the cable guy.
Right.
Like that's his energy. Like, oh, you're touching that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like trying to be nice, but it's awkward. But again, this is the person you're supposed to want to spend your life with. And he's not giving any of that. So I don't understand what's going on.
I can't tell. Is it the middle of the night? Is it the middle of the day? Is he tired?
He exhausted? Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Or is he just not that into her?
I think also he said like he's 38 and he's really never had a relationship. So I mean, he did not know that you're supposed to like bring somebody flowers at the airport. He saw it on TV.
Yeah.
So maybe he just, I don't know. Maybe he's just fun time Dungeons and Dragons guy and just never thought this would happen to him. And he's 38 and never had anybody in his space. I don't know if that means he's never even had like a roommate or anything, but he seems very overwhelmed by her wanting half of the closet, which she already told him.
Yeah. Also, her energy is a lot.
It is.
And she's probably hyped up on coffee and like jet lag and like, so she's amped at 12 and he's at a 3. So their energies are very different. And if you're an introvert like I am, like having someone that's that on all the time in your space, it makes me stressed out just thinking about it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Okay, are we done with those 2?
We are done. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm going to need him to grow on me because so far, he's not. Okay. So, all right, let's go to Josh and Lily in China. And it's been a few days. It's awesome. He loves it. He's so enthusiastic. He can't believe he lives in China. And they were going into this building and she says she has a headache. So she's going to go get a head massage and he's going to get an ear massage.
Yeah. So the person who doesn't like that stuff, turn off now.
I'm not going to get too into it, but this lady who's his massage therapist does like a weird clanging in the ear. Like, I'm starting the massage, boom, right in the ear. And then with like a feather, she goes all around his ear. And then with like a little like wispy cotton ball thing all around his ear.
I loved it.
You did? Because he was like, ah.
I mean, it looks like it tickled, and I like a little bit more pressure. I like it a little harder in the ear.
Okay.
I've
Um,
many times gotten things stuck in my ear.
I know
Okay.
you love something in your
I
ear.
love something in my ear.
And then the lady goes in there with like a flashlight and a tool that we did not need to see. The wax came out and bleh.
Mhm.
Um, he says it's very relaxing.
Yeah,
And
I loved it.
I was like, give me the head and the neck massage. I don't need this. Um, so she says, well, I'm so glad you're relaxed because, when we went to try on wedding clothes, you told me that you think the wedding is for my family, but I think you forgot that you told me that you wanted the Chinese wedding. And he
You
goes,
need roll the tape. I wish there was footage.
I did like this way she was approaching him, though, was better than how
Yes.
she was a little aggressive, but she wasn't soft partnering him before.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
So, and she says, he says, well, okay, I remember it differently. I thought you mentioned it, and I said it was a great idea. And the talking head, she goes, I would have never even thought of this wedding. So, I think he really wants the wedding, and I'm respecting his wishes so he can experience this Chinese style wedding. And he tells her, he is like, no matter who said it, we don't have to spend a lot of money. And I want you to know, like, I don't care that much about money because I don't have much. I don't like to spend much. And I would never want a large, expensive wedding because you work really hard. And she's like, hold on. So she gets a translator app so they can make sure they're understanding each other. And he says, I've told you before I moved here that my main struggle is going to be not being able to provide for you. And she says, everything she does is for love, and they're starting their new life. And then he says, how many minutes do we have in this room so they can get busy with a cameraman?
And then they like
Jump on the table?
cuddle and wrestle like it was cute because when they first got there it was like hi, hi, awkward, and you're married already, and they didn't have sex the first night. It was very I didn't see the chemistry, but then I saw a little chemistry, so I was happy.
Well, I think I did appreciate that she was like, okay, now that I've got you relaxed with your ear hole being
Yeah.
massaged, let's talk about this. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm so focused on that clip on the side of her head.
Yeah.
I find it very hard to focus on anything else. I did like on this scene, she had her hair pulled back in a bow ponytail, and that made
Mhm.
more sense than in her talking head and everything. She just literally has a hair clip stuck on the side of her head.
Yeah, but who are we to judge? She owns a massive conglomerate beauty company or something that we still don't know anything about.
What do you mean, who are we to judge? That is what we're doing here. That
we
is
don't
what this
we don't
podcast is
own
about.
beauty conglomerates.
No, we don't. And
We
I
don't have
could,
pink garages.
we don't have an elevator in our home.
No.
No. You guys know I'm always telling you about Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I love it. There's one right down the street. We go constantly. They've got these new summer mocktails, and I really, really love those. I love the mango berry Cosmo. I add some coconut to that. Oh, it's so good. But I want to tell you about some other stuff they have. They have a turkey bacon ranch sandwich that is delicious. For a kid's meal, they have like a turkey cheddar wrap. You can get some baked lays and a little cookie. My favorite on the kids menu is the little limeberry. That's if you just want a little smoothie. You don't want the whole thing. You guys, they have the acai bowls. They also have delicious breakfast. They have a Southwest wrap. They have an all-American breakfast wrap. And, for smoothies, they have those green smoothies. So if you're into that, they have that. My son's favorite smoothie is the kiwi quencher. You guys, I'm doing this off the top of my head because we order there so much. Like I said, the little limeberry I like, but I do love these new mocktails. The mocktails are only for a limited time. They have a mojito, and like I said, they have the berry Cosmo. That's my favorite. And again, don't sleep on the breakfast. Get it? Don't sleep on the breakfast. Really, the breakfast wraps are delish as well. So you guys, go to Tropical Smoothie. Try out all these things. You don't just have to try the mocktails. You don't just have to try the bowls or the wraps. Try everything. Go 3-4 times a week. Find out what you like. See what your main order always is. We're again going with that berry Cosmo mocktail because it's a limited time. Again, the little limeberry, the kiwi quencher, the acai bowls, the breakfast. You guys, all of it. Tropical Smoothie. You're on Tropic Time now. I have to tell you that I did listen back to our episode we did where we were talking about the elevator, and we went into this whole 2-minute discussion about how scary it would be to have an elevator in your house, and because what would happen, like if you press the alarm button and they have to come and get you, would they have to break in? We had this whole conversation. You're like, yeah, I agree. That's a total nightmare. And then we were 12 sentences into the next topic, and you're like, hold on. Actually,
I just remembered that my fear of dying on the stairs is worse than my fear of being trapped in an elevator. So
yeah.
I changed my earlier position.
Somebody told me, and I wish I could remember who it was or where I read it or where I heard it, but it is about elevators. And it's like the chance of them coming off a cable and falling is like so tiny. It would be
Yeah.
like, it would literally be like if you got bit by a shark while being struck by lightning. Like it would be like, it's like so, it never happens because they have like 3 different fail safes.
Right. I mean,
You're
I'm sure it's like planes. Like planes are so much more scary to me than driving, except in reality, driving is so much more dangerous.
Yes.
But here's the thing. James has twice abandoned his family's elevator maintenance company.
True.
I feel like there is a shortage of elevator maintenance people maybe. And sometimes I go into an elevator and I look at when the last time it was serviced and it was like 1997 and I get very nervous.
That can't be right. I think they have to do it every year.
They are supposed to.
Yeah. One of my son's best friend's dad, like, has worked for the whatever is the main elevator brand. I can't remember what it is, but it says it on the side of his work truck. And he has done that job for like 20 something years. I think it's like, it's an interesting specialty. It's like real
James
special.
said it's one of the top 10 most dangerous jobs. But James says a lot of things.
James also climbs a tree in his backyard and takes a picture with his Tom Cruise face.
I know. I need that hero shot to be gone forever. Get off that tree, James.
Get off that tree, James. We don't need to see it. We need to see a different one with him, maybe climbing a tree in Indonesia.
Maybe you can climb that bull that Statler's on. I hate her on that bull. I'm so glad she's gone.
Well,
so
we don't
tall.
see.
It's like 15 feet tall. Like, why would they even risk it for that shot?
It definitely seems like if she got off of it, her head would be sort of like where the seat is. Do you know what I mean? Like,
maybe, yeah.
So
impossible
maybe it's not
as tall.
Well, impossible to get on without a ladder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she's pretty short too. Yeah, boost. Oh my God. Like I would never, if somebody put their hands out and was like, I'll give you a boost. I'm like, get that away from me and get me like a wooden stool.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Okay, let's move on. This is our final couple, and this is Sarper and Shekinah. Did you see? We got 2 new hero shots from them this week, and they were both involved Sarper with his shirt off.
Why?
Because he's Sarper and he's so hot.
We got much more information. We got a deep dive into his psyche.
A lot of it, I feel like, is bullshit. And I don't, you know what I mean? It hasn't made me like feel sorry for him. Or
Absolutely not.
No, I think a lot of it is he has made this up to gain sympathy.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So they go to dinner with his sister/cousin sister. And Shekinah likes her because she's a straight shooter. So they seem to get along.
In the South, we say that's your sister cousin. And that's what we say in the South. Yeah.
So they start talking about how Sarper counts everything, like the minutes until Shekinah arrived. And the sister says, yeah, he's found ways to manage it, but it gets worse around anxiety, but he's always been like that. And the worst for him was when he was a teenager in high school. And then he says, very sad, I was very overweight. I was chubby and I was bullied mercilessly. And so this does explain to me and his obsession with his looks and fitness, dieting, counting calories, counting grains of rice. Like there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Possible ED stuff going on.
Yeah.
And
that doesn't mean erectile dysfunction, guys.
Sorry.
Although it could.
Maybe it could.
Yeah.
So yeah, he says he's ashamed of how he looked before and he feels like it was like I don't know. It's very sad. But again,
I don't totally buy it.
I buy it, but it doesn't excuse any of his current behavior. But I think he went bullying takes a toll on people, and he went the opposite direction. He felt like he wasn't attractive to women, so now he has to conquest every woman in Turkey. Like, that makes sense to me.
And the surrounding countries, but because you will run out of women eventually.
Yeah.
But are you going to talk about the leather jacket? Because I got something to say about the leather
Yeah.
jacket.
So
Okay.
Shekinah is trying to like downplay it. Like, I'm sure you just had baby fat. And he says, no, I was very overweight. I was bullied. And the sister says, you had this black leather jacket. And they called him truck driver. And I didn't
Okay.
understand where, like, because he was big like a truck, or because a truck drivers are
I don't
overweight.
know. I didn't know if that was like a
It's a
lost in
language
translation thing.
barrier. Yeah.
But when he described being like a little overweight kid with a leather jacket that he would zip all the way up to his neck, I mean, you really got a visual, and
Yeah.
it wasn't cute,
Yeah.
and that did make me a little sad just because of the visual of this kid who probably thought he was cool in a leather jacket, and then it didn't come off
It
the
did
way he
work.
wanted.
Yeah.
Um, I if we are to believe all of this,
We see
then
pictures of him, and he was bigger, in a bigger body.
okay, well, then I have to go back and look because I in my
Did
mind,
you
I'm like,
miss the pictures?
I did. Probably I was looking away because I hate
Okay,
him
so
so much.
there were pictures of him, and he's heavy. I'm trying to say it like he's overweight.
He's an
Um,
overweight kid. Okay.
yeah, and not just chubby, like
Okay.
overweight. In a
Okay.
bigger body, let's say. Um,
He was size beautiful is what you're trying to say.
100%.
Yes.
But it's hard for me because I firmly believe like your backstory, your history does not excuse you treating other people poorly in the present. You got to deal with your
Yeah.
issues,
Yeah.
and don't take other people down with you, you know? So
I agree with all that as well. You and I were just like talking about this beforehand about another subject. And
mhm.
I agree with that too. I think you can't use it as an excuse, things that happened in your past. But if we're to believe all of this is true, then yes, it does make a lot of sense that he would treat women disposable because he's trying to make up for the way that women treated him or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Well, he says he got his first girlfriend at 15. She was very beautiful. And then he saw her canoodling with another guy. And he
Did you
told,
understand this? Because it was like she was holding her hand down there, and I was like,
was
she was
he
giving
getting,
the guy a hand job, or were they
were they
holding
just
hands?
like snuggling and she had her hand on his thigh? I was very confused.
Okay,
And was it
me
in public? Like,
right.
what was it, Ashley and Manuel? What was happening? So but he calls his dad, and his dad says, you cannot trust any woman. And that moment changed him. And he stopped believing in love. He stopped trusting all women. And this makes you kind of understand, you know, him better, why he
Why would-
didn't want to get emotionally attached to all those women. He just wanted to have sex and show them, I can do all these women, and none of them are going to hurt me because I'm not going to get attached to them.
but
I'm
also, why
just,
would dad say that? What a dick.
what happened to dad too? Like,
Right, right.
did Sarper's mom do something bad to him? It's just a horrible, misogynistic. He has this view of women. But so Shekinah says that some of the women from your past have been reaching out to me on social media, and he instantly gets panicked and
Mhm.
goes, "Who?" Which made me so suspicious. Like, he knows there's dirt out there. Who was it?
Yep.
He looks like he wants to murder. Like, I'm gonna hire a hit out on that person. Sometimes his eyes are so intense, they scare me.
His eyes are very, very dead behind the eyes.
Yes. Yeah.
He just has that blank. Yeah.
Yes. And so he's like, who? And she says, I'm not going to tell you who, but these are real women that were hurt by you. And there weren't just like conquests or numbers in a book. These are real people. And the sister says, no, they're not hurt. They're just jealous. They're just jealous that you're with him now. I was like, this is a weird take. I didn't like that.
I don't know if like beforehand she said like I'm going to bring this up, and so the sister cousin was like prepared.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was a weird to be like, no, don't talk to them. They're just jealous.
They're just jealous. He didn't hurt anybody. They are just,
And how does she know?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Like, you don't know that your brother's not a total dog. And the
Right.
sister says they feel terrible because of them, not him. Like that's their own issues. And
Mhm.
he says, I have nothing to hide. I didn't do anything to these women. And Shekinah, it was like, I thought the sister was cool, but now she's like blaming all these women. And he
Right.
has no empathy for what he's done to these women by
Right.
treating them disposable.
Right.
And so that freaks me out. Um, and he's dead behind the eyes, and his
And he's
hair
dead
looks
behind
like
the
a
eyes.
plastic Lego man.
Yeah.
So this restaurant belly dancer woman comes over and starts shaking her boobies right in his face.
Okay, now we've seen belly dancers a lot
Yes.
on our TLC, and we have
Mhm.
never seen a belly dancer come up and fully try to get a patron to motorboat her.
I was like, that is not the belly dancing that I have known. That the girl on what show
UK.
is it?
It was,
UK,
yeah.
90 Day UK. She was a belly dancer. And she didn't do that. She kept a respectable distance and
Yeah, I
did her
mean,
dance and
you could
like
like approach the customers to try to get the money and stuff, but you're not literally like putting your boobs on top of their nose.
it turned from a belly dancer into like a
A stripper.
stripper club.
Yeah.
I was very confused.
And
And
she
so
wouldn't go away.
Shekinah keeps going, okay, okay, thank you. Thank you. That's
Uh-huh.
great. Okay,
Yeah.
he's in a relationship. I'm right here.
Yeah.
You're doing this in front of his girlfriend. And the lady's like laughing, like she thinks it's all a joke, and keeps going with the boobies.
I know.
And
And he does nothing to stop it either, by the way.
no, no. And the sister is like proud. She's like, oh, they always come straight for him because my brother's so hot now.
So
Like,
hot. I mean, did
yeah.
they have something going on, sister cousin? Like, what?
Yes.
Why are you so hot for your brother
Flowers in
cousin?
the attic? Like, again, he's still like making up for his like being chubby as a teenager. Like, you're so proud that the
Yeah.
dancers. Okay. So Shekinah's like, okay, please stop. And, I'm right here. And he says, babe, it's tradition. I'm trying to be respectful because this is her dancing, it's tradition.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, yeah, this is very respectful towards me because you're doing this right in front of me. And he
Yeah,
puts like money in her
yeah.
thing.
I agree with Shekinah on that.
Yeah, there was a line that was crossed when boobs touch face. I
And
think
the sister cousin was like, those women got what they deserved. Those whores.
yeah, this
Like,
was
what?
very weird. Yeah.
Yes.
So the next day, Shekinah's brushing her hair extensions out, which made me laugh. And he's like playing with Adonis, the dog. I'm glad the dog seems fine. So she's like, ever since he put my picture on his social media, all of these women have been messaging me to say he's manipulative and a liar. And this is why this was a plot line last season, why he didn't want to go public with their relationship, because he knew, he even said, I think last season, oh, just because people will come out and say things. And so I don't need them to know my business.
Right,
And
right,
he's
right.
like, God, what are you hiding? So she wants to go and meet with one of the ladies who messaged her on social media. Her name is Noor, and she claimed to have a real relationship with Sarper, not just a hookup. And he tries desperately to stop her from going. And he says, women in Turkey shouldn't be trusted. They exaggerate. They're liars. And I was like, God,
Who hurt you?
that 15-year-old girlfriend hurt him.
Show us
This
on the
is
leather
gross.
jacket where you got hurt.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very toxic, and like he hates women.
Yes, he does.
So
does.
he says, I won't let you go. And she says, you're not gonna stop me. Because I do like some of the controlling behavior, but she's like, not that far.
Not all
So
of it. Yeah.
you can tell me what to eat and you can design my new nose, but you're not telling me who I can have coffee with.
That's
I'm
right.
drawing the line there.
Yeah, right.
So she goes to meet with Noor, who they use a translator. She doesn't speak English that well. And she says so I was worried that stuff was going to be lost in translation.
Yeah.
She says, I dated Sarper for 3 or 4 months. We saw each other a few times a week and we texted like every day. We first met on a dating app and it was 2 years ago. So this is like, has to be right before.
Bumps right up against Shekinah. Yep.
Absolutely. So she says, I felt instantly like I had known him forever. I loved his Lego hair. She didn't say that. He told me this is the first time I've ever felt this way about a woman.
Mm.
And which is exactly what he's told Shekinah many
Right.
times.
Right.
And he called me my love, my angel, and my lover. And when I said I love you, he said I love you too back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he had told Shekinah he'd never told a woman that he loved them. And Noor says, I'm sure he's told a lot of women the things he's told you, because she has his number. And she says, well, how did it end with you guys? And Noor says, I found women's things in his house several times. He loves a souvenir, like
Yeah,
a
he
serial
does.
killer,
Yes, he
just like a
does.
serial killer loves his trophies. And
Mm-hmm.
he would say, oh, those are just like my friend's things, and would lie about it. And he would manipulate her, gaslight, insult her, belittle her, lower her self-esteem, and then he ghosted her completely.
A lot happened in those 3 or 4 months.
Exactly. He was
Gee.
busy. And so she tells Shekinah, you need to be careful because he lies as easily as a child cries. I was like, that's a good line.
That's a good line, but also makes you think, like, why are the children crying?
Just like a baby crying.
Yeah.
Just like so she tells Shekinah, I hope like you understand I'm being sincere here.
I
I'm
liked that.
telling the truth. And
yeah.
the reason I'm here is because I don't want you to get hurt the way I got hurt by him.
I liked that at the end where she was like, I don't like him. I'm not into him. I'm not trying to get him back. And
Right.
it's just basically like woman to woman. This is what you're dealing
Girl
with.
code. I'm warning you. Yeah.
Also, I couldn't stop looking at her eyes. She was so pretty. That
Very,
mirror.
very pretty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see what Shekinah does. Shekinah has that, she tries to mask her emotions. So she's just like, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. But like inside she's shaking.
She kind of has resting bitch face.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And
so you don't really know what's happening there.
Well, it's all fake. Those lips take up half her face, and her nose, her new nose, whatever that will look like.
Yeah.
Might change it. I don't know.
Her new nose looks like Rachel Fuda's new nose.
Oh, you've seen the new nose.
Oh, yeah. It turned straight up at the tip like Cindy Lou Who was just only 2. Yes.
I played Cindy Lou Who in a play.
Oh, I can see that. Cute. Yeah. That is what the nose looks like. Mm-hmm.
Santa Claus, why? Why are you stealing our Christmas presents? Why? The one Jew at the school played Cindy Lou Who.
Oh, that's cute. You were not the one Jew at your school, by the way.
It's pretty close.
Okay. Next time on, James and Tata are on a pedicab with every bag he owns and something strapped to his leg. It was hilarious. It was like bags like packed on top of their heads.
Well, that is more realistic, at least.
Yes. Right.
Than the 2 suitcases filled with boots.
Right. And he says he's so nervous. And they show James a room and they say, this will be James's room. And there's nothing in there. And he says it looks like a prison. And I say, go to Home Goods and decorate it. Get some Mario Kart decals like your other place. I mean, they had the other place decorated like Mario Kart. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember?
It doesn't have high standards.
Yeah. I mean,
like, don't be one of those ugly Americans that comes in and criticizes, unless maybe that you're Big Ed and you're in a shower with a rat. Then I feel like you can complain a tiny bit, but like
this looks like it had 2 rooms. It had walls. It looked like 2 different rooms and like a separate bathroom.
Yeah, no problem.
Literally throw down some rugs and some Mario Kart decals and get on your way.
Yeah.
Now we see Lily. So she looks like she's playing, it looks like badminton with like a team. And he comes up and goes, oh, are these the guys you play with? And she says, he's always been very jealous and accuses her of being with other men. And he says to her, I know you love me, but you aren't like in love with me.
That was weird.
I hope that's out of context.
I really hope he's talking about someone he saw on TV and it's a total Matt Sharp fake out.
Yeah, I think it's a Matt Sharp fake out. So Shekinah asks Sarper about this girl. And he says, and she was like, did you tell her you were in love with her? And he just laughs and laughs and laughs like, gross. She was disgusting. Like, why would I be in love with her? I mean, he, of course, completely puts the whole thing down. And then she says, how do I know I'm that one special woman that he'll change all his ways for? The question you need to be asking yourself is, why do you want to be a
Correct.
special woman that he would change all his ways for? You can't change him. And why do you want to be the one? Why do you want to be number 3,142? Like,
No,
gross,
no.
gross. Statler arrives in England and is like, hey,
Oh, this is so brutal.
hi. And Dempsey's like, oh, you happy to see me? Are you so excited? And she goes, yeah, let's go get the luggage. And Dempsey goes, this is deflating. I don't even know if Statler is even a little bit excited about this. And they're in the car and they're having like a back and forth. And Statler goes, you be in charge of your happiness and I'll be in charge of my own happiness. And Dempsey goes, great, fine, fuck off. And Statler's like, perfect. I was like, off to a great start with these two.
Wow. I mean, I'm wanting to root for Statler. I have been that tired where you can't even fake excitement, but like, you got to try, girl. You've got to try. Say you look pretty. I'm excited to see you. Something. I'm just really tired, but I promise I'm excited to, she's, oh, it's brutal.
Okay,
I
I'm going
hate
to say
these
something.
awkward first intros when they get together.
Statler has come from Texas to England. That's really not that far. I
No,
mean,
it's not like James's 5
James
days
has been
on a
traveling
train
for
and a plane and a canoe and an automobile,
yes.
a tuk-tuk
It's
and
not
a,
that bad. It's not that bad. You know,
but I think she didn't sleep before because she said she had like woke up in a panic attack. So she
yeah.
didn't sleep the night before. So she's probably on several days of no sleep.
Okay, but you don't have to be an asshole.
No, you can just be tired, but you
Yeah.
don't have to be mean.
Right. What is, I'm dying to know, and we're not putting this on video, so you're not going to be able to see it, but I would like to know, you have a blanket behind you that all I can see is go to sleep and pray. A blanket?
It's a Golden Girls blanket. So it has a bunch of sayings from Golden Girls. So that's, go to sleep and pray for brains. They must have said that to Rose at one time.
So I was I'm in Mississippi and I was here for a funeral, and the guy whose funeral it was for, it was very, very into, Seinfeld. Everybody loves Raymond, just like my husband. They could bond on that. And, very into Elvis and the Golden Girls. And they had all these like quotes out in the hallway, when you were walking in for the visitation, and a lot of like Elvis quotes and stuff. And they had one that was like, picture it, Sicily, 1922 or whatever.
Yeah.
That was one of the quotes. And I was like,
it.
is that from the Golden Girls? And then
Oh my God.
when I was reading what his wife wrote about him, it was like, and always his favorite, the Golden Girls.
Oh, I love that.
I was like, I wish I would have known that about him, because I knew he liked Seinfeld,
really cute.
but I didn't know he was so into the Golden Girls.
I love Seinfeld as well as the Golden Girls.
Yes.
So that's
if you ever want to talk to anybody in the world about the Golden Girls, it is Ingrid Sandin, because she is from that area of Minnesota.
Oh.
And she loves to talk about the Golden Girls.
I love her. And my parents are from Minnesota. So
I think I believe that we have gone over this.
I think so.
And you were born in Virginia,
correct,
not far from me.
Yes.
So really, we're soul sisters.
Exactly.
Sister cousins.
Mm-hmm.
We are sister cousins.
Sister cousins.
Yeah, we're sister cousins. Everybody, make sure you are following Katie and Kimberly on Dateline on Instagram, and also they have a wonderful podcast. And I have been on the past couple of weeks to talk about Claim to Fame, which they're doing with their Patreon and Supercast. And I don't have to come on this week. If you need me, I will be there. I'm happy to come.
Okay.
I'm very into it. I've been studying the clue wall. And I will say, when you go on Reddit, there is some way on Reddit where this must be a new thing. And since you're the Reddit queen, you can tell me. But on the Claim to Fame one, when you go on it, people say spoiler or something about Dedrick, and then it's all blacked out.
Yes.
If you click the blackout, it'll show you what's underneath.
Yes. Unfortunately, it's very hard to do. It's like ampersand dash period. Like you have to do put the thing in some code.
Oh, okay.
It's like you're a coder, and then it blacks it out for you. I could Google how to do it, but it's very confusing. But people do it; they're very good at it, and they do block out the spoilers.
They block it out. Because I was like, is there a way kind of like on a Google Doc where you can like right click and format, underline, or cross out or whatever? I was like, how are these people doing this?
Yeah, I know, it's very confusing.
Okay, well, I think that's really cool because you could go on that claim to fame Reddit, and if you don't want to see what's under it, you don't click it. Because people have been talking about Mackenzie, the girl that looks just like Miranda Lambert, but we know that her relative is a male that's a singer.
Goatee.
That has a goatee.
Goatee.
Yeah. So we still can't figure that out.
Yeah, I'm sure a country music person could figure it out in 2 seconds. Your husband doesn't know?
He's not into country music because he's only into the Grateful Dead.
Gotcha.
And also, somebody pointed out on that Reddit thread that there is a cowboy hat with a tiara on it.
Oh, interesting.
So we're like, we need to think about that for some, because we've been gone.
Who's saying rhinestone cowboy?
Like a rhinestone cowboy. Was it Glenn Campbell?
No one in that house is going to know who Glenn Campbell is.
R.I.P. Okay, everybody, follow Kimberly and Katie. They have a fabulous podcast where they're not covering Dateline right now because the Olympics are on, so they're covering shows from ID.
Well, this week we actually did an old Dateline that we hadn't done before called Haunting Images. And this man's eyebrows. Oh my God.
You're going to show it to me?
I'm going to try.
Okay.
Just to get your reaction, because I can't even put into words what's happening. So I'm hoping that you can.
Okay. I feel like I'm an eyebrow expert.
You for sure are. Oh my God. So scary.
Okay.
Okay, let me try to do it. Everyone, I know this is a podcast and this is not at all interesting to watch.
Well, I would like to know the name and stuff of the episode so that I can watch it on the plane. Okay. Okay. I'm going to add it. I'm going to look at it. Huh. That is an unkempt man. That man is hirsute, very hairy. His eyebrows have turned white, and they are Eugene Levy thick, but not as manicured.
No, they're droopy. Like, I feel like they are impeding his vision.
He definitely is trimming them, but not enough. And he looks like what Brian Koberger would look like if he was allowed to get old.
Oh my God.
Which hopefully Brian Koberger will not be allowed to get old.
Oh my God.
And he'll go right to the electric chair or whatever they do there in Idaho.
I don't know what they do there.
Yeah.
So the episode is Haunting Images.
Okay.
Season 19, episode 39.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go on over to the old Peacock and download that for the airplane.
Yeah.
Because I'm all caught up with everything else I was supposed to do. I got it all done this morning. I'm feeling very caught up. Feeling caught up is really the key to my life. Okay, everybody, follow me on Instagram at Pink Shade Pod. This week we have Forbidden Love with Kimberly. That's on the $10 level of Patreon Supercast Apple subscriptions. Of course, I had the brand new season of Love After Lockup on Monday with Keisha. This week,
I'm so excited. I started watching it so I could listen to you guys.
This week it's really good. And this week I have Kate Casey on Wednesday to talk about Welcome to Plathville, because I'm still keeping that on the free feed until 90 Day UK is over. And then on Thursday, I've got Deanna Chang talking about Bravo. And then of course on the $5 level, Pink Shade Prime, I've got Amy back. Thank goodness. And we are going to talk about the end of 90 Day UK and then the start of the 90 Day HEA 400-part reunion.
What on UK? That was crazy.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
So maybe I'm not caught up. Because I don't have to record about it till Friday, so I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. There's a good shocking moment.
Okay, yay. I watched that on the plane too. Yes. Okay. Discovery Plus, I'm coming for you with my downloads and my Peacock. Okay. Everybody, today is Tuesday, so I will talk to all of you tomorrow, Wednesday, with Kate Casey for Welcome to Plathville. Bye.
Thank you.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.